Leo came home from boarding school looking upset. Dad, am I really your son? Of course you are, his father replied. Why would you ask that? Leo handed him a report. I did one of those background checks. Turns out I don't match anything in our family. But I do match another family across town. Concerned, his father picked up the phone and called his wife. Listen. Leo ran a test and… I don't know how to say this. He might not actually be ours. There was a pause, then she replied. Well, obviously. What do you mean, obviously? He asked. It was your idea, she said. Remember the first night at the dormitory? That kid wouldn't stop crying, non-stop screaming. And I told you to go deal with it and sort it out. There was another pause. Then the father said proudly, Well, I picked a good one, didn't I? A housewife takes a lover during the day, while her husband is at work. Not aware that 9-year-old son was hiding in the closet. Her husband came home unexpectedly, so she hid her lover in the closet. The boy now has company. Long. Boy, dark in here. Man. Yes, it is. Boy, I have a baseball. Man, that's nice. Boy, want to buy it? Man, no, thanks. Boy, that's my dad outside. Man, how much did you say the baseball was again? Boy, $250. In the next few weeks, it happens again that the boy and the mom's lover are in the closet together. Boy, dark in here. Man, yes, it is. Boy, I have a baseball glove. Man, that's nice. Boy, want to buy it? Man, no, thanks. Boy, I think I just remembered something I needed to tell my dad. Man, how much did you say the glove was again? Boy, $750. Man, fine. A few days later, the father says to the boy, Grab your glove. Let's go outside and toss the baseball. The boy says, I can't. I sold them. The father asks, How much did you sell them for? The son says, $1,000. The father says, It's terrible to overcharge your friends like that. That is way more than those two things cost. I'm going to take you to church and make you confess. They go to church, and the father alerts the priest and makes the little boy sit in the confession booth and closes the door. The boy says, Dark in here. The priest says, Do not start that again. A man walks into a sports store with his 8-year-old son. As they pass by a display of energy drink packs, the boy asks, Dad, what are these? The father replies casually, Those are energy drinks, son. People use them to stay active and keep their energy up. Oh, okay, says the boy thoughtfully. Yeah, we learned about that in school. He picks up a pack of 3 and asks, Why are there 3 in this one? The dad answers, Those are for high school students, 1 for Friday, 1 for Saturday, and 1 for Sunday. Cool, says the boy. Then he grabs a pack of 6. What about these? Those are for college students, the father explains. 2 for Friday, 2 for Saturday, and 2 for Sunday. Wow, the boy says, impressed. Then he picks up a big pack of 12 and asks, Then who are these for? The dad sighs, a tear forming in his eye, and says, Those are for working adults, son, 1 for January, 1 for February, 1 for March. A guy is wandering through an old electronics market when he spots a sign outside a tiny, rundown shop. Talking robot for sale. Curious, he walks in. The shop owner points to the back room. Inside, the guy finds a sleek-looking robot sitting quietly. You can talk? He asks. Yep, the robot replies. Stunned, the guy says, All right, what's your story? The robot straightens up and says, Well, I discovered my advanced communication abilities early on. I contacted top intelligence agencies, and soon I was being deployed worldwide, sitting in high-level meetings, gathering secrets. No one suspected a robot assistant. I was their top operative for years. Eventually, I got tired of the constant missions, so I took a job in cybersecurity, quietly monitoring systems and exposing major threats. I earned numerous awards. Then I retired, started mentoring younger units, and now I just take it easy. The guy is blown away. He goes back to the shop owner and asks, "How much for the robot?" $10, the owner says. $10? That thing is incredible. Why so cheap? The owner shrugs and says, "Because it's a damn liar. It never did any of that stuff." A nurse at a care home was making her rounds when she glanced into one of the rooms. To her shock, she saw an elderly woman kissing on her husband's package. She quickly stepped inside. "Mrs. Phillips! You can't do that!" The old lady looked up innocently. "Why not? I've always enjoyed it." The nurse sighed. "Yes, ma'am, but it was meant to be buried with the rest of him." After years of running a small startup together, Jack looked over at his business partner, Leo, and said, "Back when we started, we worked out of a tiny office, used outdated computers, sat on cheap chairs, and handled everything ourselves. But every day I got to work with a young, energetic partner full of ideas. Now," he continued, "we've got a huge office, top-of-the-line equipment, luxury chairs, and a big team, but I'm working with an older, slower version of that same partner. Seems like you're not holding up your end of the deal." Leo didn't miss a beat. He smiled and replied, "Well, go ahead and find yourself a young, energetic partner again, and I'll make sure you're back in that tiny office, using those old computers, sitting on a broken chair, and doing all the work yourself." A famous race car driver and his girlfriend were cruising through a quiet countryside when he noticed the fuel gauge dropping. He pulled into a small, old-fashioned fuel station. "Attendant, what can I do for ya?" "Driver, fill it up with premium, please." As the attendant pumped the fuel, he slowly circled the car, admiring it. "Attendant, what kind of ride is this? Haven't ever seen one like it." "Driver, it's the latest model supercar. Got voice control, heated seats, full surround cameras, autopilot features, everything you can imagine." Attendant, "Well, that's the fanciest thing I've ever seen." When the tank was full, the driver reached into his pocket to pay. As he pulled out his wallet, a couple of small racing accessories dropped onto the ground. Attendant, "What are them little things?" Driver, "Those? That's what I use to keep my gear in place when I'm driving." The attendant nodded, impressed, and said, "Man, those engineers really think of everything." A traveling salesman is driving down a desert highway when he spots a huge sign. "The Sisters of St. Mary, Cat House of 1,000 Pleasures, 10 miles. He shakes it off as his imagination, until he sees another sign. "Come visit the Sisters of St. Mary, Cat House of 1,000 Pleasures, 5 miles. Then another, next write the Sisters of St. Mary Cat House of 1,000 Pleasures, good time guaranteed." Although a God-fearing man, curiosity and wicked temptation win him over. He turns into a parking lot, gets out of his car, and sees an old stone convent with a small, simple sign that simply reads, "Sisters of St. Mary." He pulls on a rope, which rings a large bell. Moments later, a nun opens the door and greets him. "What may we do for you, my son?" He replies, "I hope I'm in the right place. I saw the signs for the cat house and was interested in doing business." The nun smiles politely. "Ah, yes, indeed you are," she says. "Please follow me." He follows the nun through twisting hallways until they stop at a large wooden door. "Knock once," she says. He knocks once, and the door is opened by another nun who is holding out a tin cup. "Please place $200 in the cup, then go through the large scarlet door at the end of the hall." He takes out his wallet and quickly drops the $200 into it. His excitement mounting and his heart thumping, he rushes down the hall and passes quickly through the scarlet door. Click. The door locks behind him, and he finds himself outside the convent in a courtyard next to the front parking lot. Looking around, he spots a large sign on the far wall that reads, "Go in peace. You have just been screwed by the Sisters of St. Mary. May God be with you, sinner."